This video is going to be very exciting, as in this video we are going to learn the shell script. In this video what we are going to do is we are going to create a user. Now you all are thinking, creating a user, it's a single line command in Linux, right? Why we need to learn a shell script for that? Don't worry, in this video we are not only going to create a user, we are also going to do some kind of validation. Some other things we are also going to include. So this is going to be very interesting. Creating a user is going to be a fun in this. So let's start. For this what I'm going to do is let me open a new file from here. Okay. Now we need to do a couple of things. When we need to create a user in the Linux, the command is very simple. We can go with the user add command and then we can give the name of the user and we can easily do that, right? But let's suppose my requirement is to create a user, but I need to create a user with the root account only. My first requirement is to create a user with root account. Now that means if I need to create a user with the root account, so first thing which I need to do is to do a validation. Now validation in the sense, we need to verify whether the current user is root or not, right? So how we are going to do that? For that, we have couple of options, like if I'm root, then I'm good to go. If I'm not root, then stop my script or something, right? So this is the first thing which we have to do it in our script. And when we have to do this thing in our script, what I can do here, what exactly I'm doing, if I'm root, then please allow me to create a user. If I'm not root, then please stop me to execute the next line in the script, right? So for this, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the if statement. If I'm root, something like if I'm root, yes, then allow me to create user. If else, if I'm not root, then stop the execution of the script, right? Now this is the first thing which we need to include in our script. So for that, let me go to the Linux machine and let's try to create this thing. Okay, here I am in my Linux box. Okay, so this is a Linux one. Now in order to create a script, first we need to create a file for that. So file name I can give touch file.sh. This is the name I'm going to give, and let me go inside this file.sh. And why I'm going to give the extension .sh? Because it is going to be a script, so we need to give the extension .bash.sh. okay, and the first thing which we need to do is we need to give it to the bin bash. We need to include this statement whenever we are writing our script. Now let me go back to my Visual Studio Code. So this is the first thing which I need to do. I need to create a user, but first I need to check whether I am a root user or not, and for that I am going to use a if statement. So if, now how we are going to write the if statement, bracket start, bracket close. Now here, if who am I is equal root, okay, then echo I am root user, or else here echo I am not root user. Okay, and let me close this thing. And how to close the if statement? With fi. So if statement contains three things: if, else and fi. Okay, we are good. Now let me close this thing and let me run my script. Now when we need to run our script, we have couple of ways. Either we can change the permission of the file with the chmod command, chmod plus x means the executable permission, and like this chmod plus x file.sh. Either I can change the permission or I can run my script something like this, file.sh. Now it is telling me I'm not a root user, right? Why it is telling me this thing? Who am I? If I'm going to type, I'm a EC2 user, right? I'm a EC2 user, not a root user. I'm not a root user. So let me go to the root user first. Sudo su minus, sudo su minus. Now I become a root user. Okay. Now what I need to do is first minus rf. Let me delete all the files and folder which are there, and let me create one file here, nano file.sh, and let me rewrite everything. Bin bash, and after that if bracket start who am I is equal root. Let me give a space here, then it's then, then echo I am root, else echo I am not root user, and to close this thing fi. Now let me run this thing. And how to run? Bash file.sh. I'm not a root user, but I know I'm a root user, right? If I'm going to type who am I, it is telling me I'm a root user, but in my script, let me get my script file.sh. Here if you see, if I'm typing who am I, it is not telling I'm a root user. See, I'm not a root user. Now why this thing? Because this is a predefined variable. Who am I is a predefined variable from the Linux, and whenever in our script we need to include a predefined variable, there is a proper way to do that. And how to do that? Let me go inside my file, and to include this thing, what we need to do is we need to give this thing in this bracket. Okay, now my script is going to understand, okay, it's a variable, it's a predefined variable. Now let me run my script again. I'm a root user, wow, right? By this way you can do the validation. So let me do the cat file.sh. You can easily do the validation for this thing. You can type any user here like EC2-user, or if you have created any customized user, you can give the name here and enter it here. Let me show you one more thing. This is something where I can type equal to is equal to root, right? But there is one more thing, ID. Whenever we are creating a user in Linux, you know, there is a ID, and ID is unique for all the user. For root it is going to be 0. So let me show it to you. ID, see, for the root UID is 0. We can also do the validation with this. So how to do the validation with this? We can have same thing. If ID minus u is equal 0, then okay, let me give this, then echo I am root user, okay, or else echo I am not root user. And to close this thing fi, we can go with this quotation as well, but again ID minus u is a variable. So what we need to do is we need to include this. Okay, now let me go and copy this thing. Let me go to my script. So my script is nano file.sh. Let me remove everything from here. Okay, let me paste it this thing xy. Now let's rerun my script. So here is the command bash.sh. I'm a root user. You can do the validation this way. So we are done with the validation. I hope you understand the validation part. Okay, so the validation is complete. We have done the validation till this point. Now the next point is, if I'm a root user, then what will happen? I'm going to create a user. Okay, if I'm a root user, then only I'm able to create a user. So for that, If I need to create a user, that means I need to ask for the username as well. So asking username. Now in the script, how I'm going to ask the username? I'm running my script. I want, the user who is running that script, I want to prompt for the username, and this read is going to help me. Okay, now where I need to include this thing, if here I am telling the if statement, if id minus u is equal to 0, then let me remove this thing and enter read minus p. Read is going to ask for your input. Let me enter it here. Please enter the username, right? And let me give some kind of quotation so that it will look nice. Now once I'm going to enter the username, I want my script to store that thing as well, right? So that means I need to give some variable name as well, username. If I'm not going to provide this thing, what will happen? I'm going to provide the input, like the username is going to be Wiki. I'm going to provide the Wiki here, but my script is not going to store that information somewhere, right? So I want my script to store it somewhere. So that is the reason I'm providing the variable name here. Now echo, what I'm going to do is I'm going to echo the username. Let me copy this thing. Let me go to my terminal, nano file.sh. Let me go inside that. Let me remove everything from here. Don't remove the bin.bash, otherwise your script is not going to work. Now see, if I'm a root user, then only it is going to ask me this thing. If I'm not a root user, then it is not going to ask me anything. Okay, now let's run this thing, bash file.sh. Please enter the username. Wow, let me enter the username Wiki, and I'm getting the prompt Wiki. Wow, great. Now let's go back. Now once we enter the username, the next thing we need, asking for password as well, right? So the same thing, let me copy this thing and enter it here. Please enter the username, password, right? And I'm going to store it inside the password. Now let me copy this thing, or let me copy this line only. Okay, let me go to my script. Here we need to enter it. Okay, let me correct the format as well. PSSWRD, everything seems to be correct, but let me correct this thing. Yeah, X. Now let's rerun it. Bash. It will ask me for the username. Username is going to be Wiki. Please enter the password, and the password is going to be 123. But this is the problem. I'm able to see the password on the screen. That is something I don't want. I want this thing to be hidden, right? So for that, what can I do? I can add one variable here in my script, -s. Now if you need more information related to this, what you can do is you can do the read help command, and you will get to know why we are using the P option, why we are using the S option. You can just enter it here, or you can do man read. There you will get answer to all your queries. Okay, now let me go to my script, and here let me enter that secret variable here. Okay, X, Z, username is Wiki, password, oops, why it is giving me this thing? I think the format is not correct, so let's correct the format. Nano oops, why it is not taking it? Let me man read. Let's see. Can we reread? Okay, seems to be correct. Okay, let me correct this thing. Okay, so the secret will come first, minus s minus p. I think we are good. And let me remove this username as well, because we don't need this echo now, right? Control X Y, and let's run it. Bash, enter the username wiki, and the password is going to be 123. See, this time it is not showing the password on the screen. Wow, great, we are done. Now till this point we have created our script in such a way. First it is going to do the validation whether I am a root user or not. If I am a root user, then it will go to the next step where it will ask for the username, then it will ask me for the password, and password in the secret way, right? Now what next? Now we know whenever we are creating a user in the Linux, it will go to a particular directory, and the directory is cat etc. Here we have the list of all the users, correct? So that means I need to do the validation as well. Validation, what validation? Validation, I need to do whether sorry, I'm not sure about the spelling. Forgive me for this thing. Whether user is already exist or not. This is something we need to validate. Now how we are going to validate? So that means we need to do something here, right? So what we need to do? We need to grep. Now what we need to grep? We need to grep what we need to grep this username. Whatever the username I'm going to provide here, I need to grep it here, right? And where exactly we need to check it? We need to check inside the ACT password, right? And if there is any error message, I also need to redirect that error message, dev.null. Now why I am doing this thing? Because if I am not going to do this thing, what will happen? If there is error, it is going to stop my script. That is something I don't want. So I want my script to be continued. Now what exactly this line is doing? This line is going to check for the username. Whatever the username I am going to provide here, it is going to check whether that username is there or not, right? Now if that username is there, then what? Let's suppose if the user is already created, then I want my script to stop. If it is not created, then it will move to the next step, right? So again, what we need to do is we need to have if statement again. Yes, we can have if statement inside the if statement. Now what we need to have? If now in the Linux, let me tell you one thing. If you need to check whether your last executed command was successful or not, how you are going to check? There is a command for that, and to check that thing, $this, you can do this. If you get 0, that means your last command was successful. If you get some other number, that means there is some problem with the last command. Let me show it to you. If I'm going to do cat etc, this is a wrong, right? etc no such file or directory, and if I'm going to do echo here, see, I'm getting 1, I'm not getting 0. If my last command was successful, then only I will get 0. Okay, the same thing, the same formula we need to add it here. If this is equal to minus equal to 0, then sorry, we need to enter this first. Then what will happen? If this is equal to 0, that means last command. If we are able to find this username inside the etc password, then what it will do? It will echo something. What it is going to echo this $username already exists, right? Else, now here I will go with else. What it is going to do is, else it is going to user add right? First we will give the password here, then we will give $username, right? Now let's see. Let me delete this line from here. Okay, let me copy this thing. Let me go inside my script, nano file.sh. Here is my script. Let me remove everything from here first. Let me paste it. Now let's see. Let's try to run my script now. File.sh. Okay, there is some syntax error. Line number 10. Let me correct this thing. Yes, the error messages, we have not closed this thing, so we need to close this one first. And to close this fi. Okay, I think we are good. Let me run my, please enter the username is going to be Vicky. Oops, again there is a error. Let me correct that error. It is not like this, it should be like this. Okay, I think now everything is correct. Bash, please enter the username Vicky, please enter the password 123. No such file or directory, warning. Okay, now we are getting grep. It is a password, no such file or directory. Why we are getting this error message here? Because we have already redirected our error message to this, right? Dev null, but still we are getting the error message here. So that is something we need to check. See, there is one more problem. This password is not the correct one. Cat etc, it's not password, it's passwd, it's passwd. This is not correct, so let's correct that thing first. Nano file.sh passwd, right? Bash, username is going to be Vicky, password is 123. Please enter. Wiki already exists. Now it is telling me Wiki already exists. Let's see. Cat etc password. Do we have Wiki? Yes, we do have the Wiki. That is the reason it is giving me this error message. Let's add a new user. Amit. Okay, 123. Done. Cat etc password Amit. We have added Amit. Great. But there is one more thing which is missing. See, when we ran our script, at the end it is not shown me any message like my user is added or something. So let's do that thing as well. So how to do that thing? Else user this. Now again I am going to add a if statement here. Now how do I add? If the same thing, this, if this is equal to 0, right, then echo user added successfully, right, or this is the or symbol, not added, or some problem with it, not added, right? Oops, let me correct this one as well first. Now this is my complete script. Let me copy this, let me remove rm minus rf star everything. Let me create a new one, nano file.sh. My script is going to start with bin bash. We call it shebang as well. Now why we are calling it shebang, I don't know. Now to run we can go with chmod plus x, then this way we can change the permission of the file and we can run our script in this way as well. Oh, else again there is a problem, we need to correct it. Nano, see here we have not closed. Let me close this thing. Whenever we are using the if statement, we need to close it with fi. Okay, we are good. Please enter the username, and the username is going to be Tom. Enter the password 123. Again, I'm so sorry, user updated successfully, but we need to correct this thing as well. egrep passwd. Now let's remove the user Dell, Vicky, Tom and Amit. These users we have created. Okay, user Dell, Vicky, we are done. Now let me rerun my script. Vicky 1 2 3. It is telling me the home directory already exists, but the user is added successfully. That's okay. There is a different error, but we are not going to deal with that. So let me enter a new username, and the new username is 3. Enter the password 123. User added successfully. Wow, great. So we have created a script, and this script is going to help me to do the validation as well. This script is also going to check whether the current user is root or not. If you want to run the script from a particular user, you can just give the ID here or the username. I have gave you or shown you both the way how you can use that in your script, how you can do the validation, how you can redirect the error message. Couple of error we got, but those error message we can easily ignore that, because we know most of the time we got the typing error only. So this way you can use this script. I hope you like this video. If you like this video, do subscribe my channel, hit the like button, share it with your friends. Thank you.